When I was a kid, my mother used to talk about vibrations. She used to tell me that some dogs would bark at some people but wouldn't bark at others. And apparently this is because some people put off strong vibrations. Anyway, this song is called Good Vibrations. I love the colorful clothes she wears and the way the sunlight plays upon her head. I hear the sound of a gentle word on the wind that lifts her perfume through the air.
If you want to see the full version of the show, go to Charles William Blake on Instagram. It won't allow me to add different music and stuff here. Welcome to the Dollabill Show, episode 35. Brian Wilson, man. The first music that I ever loved was the Beach Boys. It was playing around everywhere when I was very, very small. And I can just remember it was, my mother's name is Rhonda. And the song Help Me Rhonda was very popular around my house. And I think I probably thought it was about her. And then myself, the more that I developed as a songwriter, and just because of what all happened to me, the first time I took acid, I took way too much acid. And I think like the people in my community that were my friends, they thought I was funny. So I guess they thought it would be funny to give me like 2 hits of white blotter that were like 4 times the size of a regular hit. And I was like completely fucking catatonic. I was never the same person after that. And I didn't quit doing it. Like I did it all the time and sold the shit. And I remember one time, like, I was so fucked up that I was like selling 10 strips and like licking them and then selling them to people and shit at this party. And that was another time that I was like totally fucking catatonic. But ever since that first time, I was never, ever the same. And like, I smell this weird perfume smell from time to time. And it's like, I wonder if that contributed to my anxiety and stuff, because I definitely completely changed after that. And I don't know the exact, if it's fact, but I have heard stories that Brian Wilson was also never the same. But at the same time, it's like I almost think acid is something that if done in a safe environment around people that are going to explain what's going to happen, that like almost everybody should try it, because it really does unlock something. It's like it shows you that this universe is finite and it's all like a god dream, sort of, in a way. But I've also had Howard Stern compare me to Brian Wilson, and I know he's one of the great American songwriters, so I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about that he didn't like to leave the house, and he loved cheeseburgers. I started to get emotional just playing that clip of Good Vibrations, because it's like, you look what, and I'm going to read this. This is off of the Beach Boys YouTube. The world mourns a genius today, and we grieve for the loss of our cousin, our friend, and our partner in a great musical adventure. Brian Wilson wasn't just the heart of the Beach Boys, he was the soul of our sound. The melodies he dreamed up and the emotions he poured into every note changed the course of music forever. His unparalleled talent and unique spirit created the soundtrack of so many lives around the globe, including our own. Together, we gave the world the American dream of optimism, joy, and a sense of freedom. Music that made people feel good, made them believe in summer and endless possibilities. We are heartbroken by his passing. We will continue to cherish the timeless music we made together and the joy he brought to millions over the decades. And while we will miss him deeply, his legacy will live on through his songs and in our memories. I'm starting to like learn how to play bass, and it's digitally. Most of the things I do are on an iPad, but like I'm really coming up with some great bass melodies, and making the music is the most important thing to me. I have to get it out. I have to get it out there. I sacrifice other things to do that, and because it's just something you can't ignore when you have a gift. And today I made a choice that, like, because I'm supposed to go perform in a little bit, and it was just weighing on me that this is more important to me right now. Like, this is my job. This is the part I don't so much like. See, right there is my alarm to go perform. Um, I don't so much like performing live sometimes. Not that I don't like it, it's just that the excitement of it and what used to be anxiety is just like too overwhelming sometimes. And the rewards are huge too, because you have moments where it's like God is winking at you. There was a moment that I had, I think the summer before last, where I was performing and at sundown, and it was just magic. And everybody is together in one, and we are anyway. We really are all one, and there's a lot of people that need to see that, and maybe they will try to do what's good for all of us. Ananda Lewis passed away from cancer, and she was an important media person. I met her once briefly. I think just said hi, and my hangout whenever I was late, because when you work in the carpenters, like you might have periods where you work so much that you might work 9 months out of the year. And I mean, a young man, if you're doing all that overtime and stuff, this is when Las Vegas was booming. There was like over 100 cranes on the strip, maybe over more than that. But sometimes just to get away from my own place, whenever I was laid off, I would go hang out at the Hard Rock because the pool was so beautiful. It's like beach entry and all that, and you're being waited on, and I would go there and party, man, eat club sandwiches. That's a party to me, and maybe drink a couple beers and go swimming. But anyway, one time I went there, and TRL was set up, and that's where I'm pretty sure that I met her there. That's where I met her. And I think I was mad because like the day I found out I got there, and then I was like the day before I could have went, and it was Eminem, and I was like, fuck, man, I could have saw Eminem. And but it was still awesome because it was the Black Eyed Peas, and they were huge at the time. I mean, that's when they were just popping off. And I think they did 3 songs. But I can remember it too because I was like basically the only one there who was drinking beer, and like I watched myself later that afternoon on MTV. I was the only guy with like a hairy chest and fucking drinking a beer. But hey, I can remember that she did 2 forums on violence in schools that aired after the Columbine high school massacre, and I know that she earned a couple NAACP awards. One for the special Driving While Black, and she had her own talk show, and then she decided that she didn't want to be in the spotlight, and then she became a carpenter. And a couple of years later, she married her 2 careers, then hosted TLC's While You Were Out. She was a huge part of me, of my life too, man. These people are like, when I was a kid, I was alone a lot, and I remember there was like an old jukebox that quit working, and I got all of the 45s out of it, and it was just like, you know, Michael Jackson records. These are like from the 80s, and these were my friends. Cable TV, these were my friends. There was nobody bigger than when Michael Jackson Bad came out. I can remember watching the special at like 8 p.m. I had a weird dream this morning that I woke up, and or before I I woke up, thank God. Before I woke up, I had this dream, and it was Jennifer Garner, and she was eating a fucking big classic from Wendy's, but it was like the one from the 90s that has like it was one of those good ones, dude. Like I'd take one in the jaw for fucking for one of them big classics. Um Man, if I ever open a restaurant, it would be a Wendy's from the 90s restaurant. Would be the best restaurant that you could ever fucking open, man. I mean, you talk about good. But it was one of the ones she had like with the Kaiser bun and everything, and she was eating it. And what a good person, man. She really is. Like, I see all of this. Okay, that is a high value woman. Like I see, okay, the Instagram models and all of this and porn and all of this crap. It's all great. Okay. It's all great. I know when you're young, you gotta like fucking do something to slow yourself down or something like that. But as you get older, you realize that the more people you're with, the more it takes a piece of you every time. And like, and then if you fall in love and it's not reciprocated, it even says in the Bible, like you'll get yourself in a position that that is going to be stronger than what you can deal with. So, and only Jesus can save you. And I have been in that situation numerous times, and there's a lot of, I've even seen rabbis and stuff like that that are teaching like, they're all of this erotic shit and all of that. Dude, get the fuck out. There is nothing like when you're with someone and you're both being open and vulnerable 100% and only with them with good intentions. There is nothing. This is literally what we are made for. Like, and I have been celibate for a long time, going on 10 years, other than just a couple times, because like I was the exact opposite of this for many years. And I think it's just important that I share my knowledge about this because this is out of experience. If you're just going around being frivolous like that, it's going to leave you empty and broken. But I'm attracted to high value women, and what I mean with that, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about intellect, a smart person, person that cares. I saw a video where this woman took her shoes off of her feet and gave them to a homeless person that didn't have shoes on. And I remember like when we had those floods here in West Virginia, and I was locked up at the time, but I saw a video where the first thing she did was she was here, and so was Natalie Portman, and like you don't forget shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what really matters is who's going to be there to hold your hand if you have to lay in a hospital bed or you have to bury someone that you love. Anyway, guys, that's all I have, and I hope that I did justice to these people, especially Ananda Lewis and Brian Wilson, and prayers for all of their loved ones. Thank you.